We're live. Look. We're here. Say hello. Hello. Very. Hello. Right, I'm going to stick that. I'm going to stick that over here somewhere. That way you can look at somebody other than me for this week. And welcome back. Normal life has once again resumed in the studio, and we are here. It wouldn't be any fun without technical difficulties, would it? There we go. We are live. On transition and on periscope. We hold the phone above his head. We had Claire over there. Wave. Hello, Claire. Susan over there. And Terry over there.
Hi, everybody.
And then you're stuck with me over here somewhere, if you can still hear me. Aim of the show, comfort zones. Claire, while I fiddle around over here, would you like to tell me what your blog said this morning about comfort zones and where we go? Oh, twiddly lowels, look, there we go.
Start by imagining a circle in the middle, like a target, with two rings outside.
Like a bullseye.
Like a bullseye, yeah.
Bullseye,
So
target.
the bullseye would be your comfort zone. The area outside that is your stretch zone, and the area outside that is your panic zone. Once you understand that, that can be really useful, because if you go out to your panic zone, you tend to make it quickly back into your comfort zone.
Welcome to my studio.
But if you spend your time in your stretch zone, you're learning new things, you're growing, you're developing as a person, and your comfort zone starts to get bigger. So if you think about it, you go out, you do something that's new and scary, bit out your comfort zone, but as you do it more, it becomes comfortable, so your comfort zone grows.
So how many times does Susan have to be on top of a plane before it becomes comfortable?
That depends on her. There's no magic number, I don't think, because it never becomes a comfort zone for me.
Definitely not.
That next time you extend the birthday celebration to go out to Dubai. There you go.
Exactly, yeah. Always try it, give it a go.
No, it's alright, I'll walk this one.
Yeah.
Terry.
Yes.
Comfort zones? When was the last time you pushed yours?
Every day. Getting up in the morning, pushing my comfort zone at the moment. Yeah, I think it depends how you look at it, but I exceed someone else's comfort zones through me.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I've got ideas to do something, and I'll get someone else to do it if I can't do it.
That's cheap. That's called consultancy.
I'm not explaining myself very well. I have to refer back to the thing you keep bringing up, drifting. I mean, we broke everything that we did in the UK. We did first, and we did some of it first before Japan. So it was always pushing the boundaries of the business in that way. Mm-hmm. Whereas, we done the 4-car drift, which nowadays is quite common. Then it was unheard of, even in Japan. We do that sort of thing. And
keep going.
You're chasing me.
A little bit. Just keep going.
Chasing me around the table, mate. But with me, I'm always pushing my own goals, but I do have comfort zones. Thank you. It's all right, you're playing around with my mic now. Get that on there. With me, I think you always have to go outside your comfort zone to achieve, because every day you make a goal,
mm-hmm.
Or take a risk that's well outside your comfort zone, and you either pull it off or you don't. But I think there's a difference between comfort zones and fear. I mean, I have a fear. I mean, I could never, ever do what Suzanne's doing. I think she's marvellous for doing it.
She hasn't done it yet.
Oh, she will.
Ask me next week.
Sticking her nails into the tarmac.
Confidence that she'll do
thank
it.
you.
And I admire people who do skydiving for charities and all these things for charities. It means a lot because they really are pushing boundaries. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't even attempt to do it. I'd be so scared and frightened.
Claire. So I'm not cutting you off there, Claire.
Yes, you are.
Only a little bit. Do you think stepping outside our comfort zones is good for us?
Definitely. Yeah. If we don't step outside our comfort zone gets smaller. So you hear about things like mums who have kids and spend a lot of time at home in the early days, and then they become agoraphobic because going outside then becomes scary. So the less we do to stretch ourselves and grow and get outside of our comfort zone, the smaller that comfort zone becomes.
I can see that. I mean, I've spent... Look at this. This is a man multitasking here.
Scary.
If we disappear off air again...
That's why.
Yes. Sorry, I'm not with it at all today, as most of you have noticed. But never mind. So is it...
I don't know it's any different.
should we push our comfort zones, do you think?
Yeah.
Just into that first area,
Just
or right
that
into
stretch
panic?
Zone. No, if you get into the panic zone, you come legging it straight back to the comfort zone,
Land.
and the comfort zone shrinks again.
So here's a question. If something you're frightened of takes you into that fear, how do you then overcome that? Because you're never going to venture into that fear.
Keep growing the zones. So if you grow your comfort zone out, your stretch zone grows with it, so it gets closer out into your panic zone. So things that one day would have panicked you suddenly just become a stretch.
Like a gradual
Some things
process.
probably will stay, like wing walking for Terry and I will stay in the panic zone, but that only becomes a problem if you really want to do it.
So baby steps as opposed to jumping in full time.
Just feel that little discomfort and don't take it too far.
Interesting. In the taking that into account in the earlier conversation I was having about Ian and the rowing the Atlantic. I'm going to get him on here one day because I want to hear Ian. Ian, there's a challenge for you, my friend. You can come in here and talk all about how you row across the Atlantic and how you do baby steps, because that's what I'm intrigued for. How do you take on some of those huge changes? I mean, you're doing your wing walk on Saturday. How do you do a baby step for that? You know, once it's taken off.
You don't. So it's a case of... I think you couldn't do it if you were really scared. I think if you were really scared of heights, you couldn't pursue that.
You could stand on top of a remote control plane. Probably. Don't know if it's lift off.
Or just go up in a plane.
But you were saying earlier that you've done skydives.
Yeah.
So that would be a step towards...
So in the plane.
So for somebody like me, getting on top of a ladder would be my first baby step.
Oh, so you're saying that with the right coaxing?
Coaxing?
I like that. You can go from standing on top of a ladder to standing on top of a plane.
If you wanted to.
Wow.
Yes, if you wanted
I think
to.
the want is the key thing there. I would never want to do it, so I wouldn't push myself.
Equally, once you've made that statement that says, I'm going to do this huge heroic event, whether that be rowing across the Atlantic, standing on top of a plane, if you say it to enough people, you're kind of doing it, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the big thing. You can't, they can't back out now. Especially when we raise so much money, it's a bit embarrassing. But I know I won't, because it is something I've always wanted to do. So for me, it's not. I would be more scared going for a blood test.
Really?
I'd rather do 10 skydives and have a blood test. Yeah, and that's my fear. I hate it.
Blimey. Well, there you go.
You see, everyone's got their fear.
Do you want to give us that link again, just while we've got 2 minutes?
Oh yes, it's www.justgiving.com/Suzanne-Campbell7. Thank you.
Excellent. There we go. So, if you're roundabout in Essex this weekend, do you know what time you're going up?
1:30.
1:30.
Well, actually, 1:30 is my briefing, and then you go up from there.
So, between 1:30 and 3
yeah,
probably
I should
then.
imagine.
Excellent. So, look to the skies above Essex.
Yes. You see a mad woman in a
Let me just
t-shirt.
let me just make sure everybody. There we go. Back on the periscope. There is a person there who on Saturday will be soaring above the skies in Essex, and he's never going to let me forgive this.
And it is recorded, so I will be putting it onto Facebook and things like that. So I will be putting it out there.
Absolutely. Make sure you send us a copy over here, and we'll
do. And any donation, £1, £5, £10. I've had some fantastic donations of 100. So I've been really, really fortunate. So anything.
There we go. Let's see if we can get that up there. That there is the person that's going to be doing it. There,
I might come back
and
with
here.
everything else.
We're going to be stood on the ground going, you've got to be mad to do that.
That's it, laughing.
Yeah, well, she said she was going to do it. I remember talking to Ian actually, and it was something very, very similar was the thoughts going through his head. You're going to be miles up in the air. I think he was looking at massive waves at the time and thinking, did this really, it seemed like such a good idea when I was in this nice calm harbour, and now I can't see land.
Yes.
And I remember clearly having a conversation about being out to swim, and actually it's completely irrelevant. I like the cruise ship holidays and stuff like that, but you reach a point where if you can't see land anymore, does being able to swim really make that much difference? Because you're not going to get to it, are you?
No.
There's you, the big waves, and cello playing sharks. Claire. Tell me a bit more about comfort zones while I line up the next track, please.
Oh, okay. So, as we've already talked about, if you keep stretching, your comfort zone grows, but equally, if you don't stretch, it decreases. So it's important to keep trying new things, and those rings just move in and out together. So you can sort of make your panic zone quite slim, possibly. Sounds like you're getting to the stage where it is. Yeah.
That's that I've committed and I have no choice.
Yes, basically. I don't know what to do next though, that's the problem.
Land? Oh, have you seen the YouTube video in preparation?
Yes,
on the
I
microlight and the cat?
Yeah, I
sticking its head out the wing. No, you've not seen
I
that
haven't
one.
seen it.
You need to go and look at that one. I'll let you explain that. It's good. They take off in a microlight, and the look on the pilot's face is phenomenal.
Oh my God.
Because he has somebody next to him, and they're like that, and he's just looking left and looking right, and he looks left, and there's a cat sticking its head out the wing. It's a very cute cat. I think it was doing it in aid of its own enjoyment, probably.
Poor thing.
It's a fun. I'm quite envious, I have to be honest. I don't think I could do it. In fact, I'm absolutely certain.
Yeah, but you're already thinking about it.
I am now, yeah.
You see?
So it's your fault.
Yeah, I could have unleashed this.
We could take transition in the air.
And you, Colin.
You'd love it, wouldn't you? Can we? I mean, I could see Terry doing a wing walk.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't walk on land, on a wing.
Well, it would be interesting, wouldn't it? It'd be something we've never done. Nobody underneath? I'm sorry, that was just...
That's all right.
Well,
I just don't think...
while Terry recovers from my next onslaught.
There's some things in life I just know I couldn't do. As much as I do, I envy you. I envy anybody who does that.
That's good.
But I don't... I think everybody's got things they want to do, and, you know...
Yeah, it's like I've always wanted to run a marathon, that's my big thing, but I do not run. And I hate running, but for
That's
me that
kind
would
of
be
going
a
to put
huge
you off, isn't
challenge.
it? Can I get you to slide around with Susan? Because your mic's not working, mate.
Okay.
Double up. We'll slide round.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's what we've...
What's going on now?
Your microphone doesn't
Your
work.
mic
You're going to have to
doesn't
share one.
Oh, sorry.
Look.
I thought for a minute.
That's why I've kind of been completely distracted trying to get your mic working.
Yeah, right.
I think there was some...
You wasn't distracted when you
As
said
you
you
can
were-
see, Terry has now moved because he can't be trusted to play with the toys properly.
Oh. It's weird because it's got a blue light.
I know, it looks like it's working, but the sound on it's awful. It did that once before.
I was listening to a show the other... Well, it wasn't a show, it was a bloke doing something. It was foreign. It was terrible. The quality was terrible. You know.
That's what's going on with yours. It was just, it sounded like, well, it was picking up of those two rather than yours.
Right. Well, I could always sit and just say nothing.
Thank you.
It worked a treat.
Really? Do you know what? It's a really strange thing. It's not needles. I could have needles anyway. It's I get like an anxiety attack when the blood comes out. Like a panicky. And she said some people can react getting worse with age because I have to go quite regularly because I'm a thyroid. I would honestly rather jump out 5 rooms than go for blood test because I know I'm going to react, and you build up that anxiety.
I was going to say, is it the anxiety beforehand?
Yeah. So it's the whole. Like, I don't get that with anything apart from blood tests. I don't get medical. Yeah, and I'm alright with it.
I mean, I had a colonoscopy on Monday. It's the 5th one I've had in 2 years. Doesn't bother me at all. I love watching it on the telly.
Oh, God.
You know, like of it going into you. Yeah, but I don't see it like that. I know it is like that, but I don't see it like that. But you know, it's.
Should we talk about that?
Yeah, it's something I'm not scared of. Yeah, I know
Outside your
people
comfort
have
zone.
so many fears over it. Like yourself with blood. When I had quite an accident at the Arena Essex Raceway, and I drove home, but I was bad. So I went into hospital and they took me in, and 2 of my mates come out, who were big, strong, strapping fellas. As soon as the needles come out, poof, they've gone. Then they'd come back, more needles, they'd gone again. The nurse said, I can't believe it. She said, grown men, and they're running away from a needle. It's not even on them, it's on me. But we've all got out.
Yeah, I can't
You know.
watch needles go into veins. Honestly.
No, I love watching medical
No.
programs.
I don't mind operations. I watch an operation.
I just
not
think
needles.
it's fascinating what they do. I really do. Admire what they do.
And welcome back. For those of you viewing us on Periscope, that was a really great bit of radio that I just can't retrieve. It was fab. So if you haven't, look us up on at Transition Sounds, and have a listen to the Periscope. It's amazing. The things that go on in a radio station while songs are playing just probably should never be seen or heard. I promised I would do this, and I will do. Ian has very kindly allowed me to basically plagiarise his entire presentations of some like, which I know isn't quite the conversation we had last night, Ian, but hey. And I won't do. But if you do get a chance to go and see Ian's very, very motivational speech, has anyone here seen it? Were you not at the Young Enterprise Awards when Ian was speaking? You may not have been actually. Guy's name's Ian Rowe, who I'm talking about. Now I came across Ian about 3 or 4 years ago when I first heard his presentation. I've heard it a lot now. I don't think I could ever look at a bucket in quite the same way. And I like my cruise ship holidays, and there's an awful lot more luxury in a cruise ship holiday than there is a transatlantic rowing boat, I can promise you that much. If you do get a chance, or you're interested in just hearing Ian's presentation at all, he's a fantastic after-dinner speaker. He is available to hire for all good causes, and I've stolen him for Young Enterprise on more than one occasion, and I'm sure we will, I might even sort of have him, well, we'll definitely have him on the show at some point, I'm sure. But if you go to www.atlanticexperiences.co.uk, you will see what Ian's all about. He's, if any of you watched the TV programme where Ben Fogle rowed across the Atlantic, it's great. Ian's basically got the boat that none of you watched row across the Atlantic, and he got this boat that's a phenomenal boat. It's got loads of history to it. The first thing he did is completely dismantled it and put it all back together again. I think there's logic in there somewhere. I'm not seeing it, but hey, what am I to do? I also wouldn't walk across the plane. Are you going to walk, or are you just going to stand still?
No, you get strapped in, and I'm hoping they do a nosedive because that's what they've said they're going to do. So that's the part I'm looking forward to.
That's when you get all the G-force.
That's crashing.
Yeah.
Is that crashing by any other word?
It's sort of, but you obviously
if you
don't crash.
If you lift up, it don't crash.
You know that Pink Panther routine where they step off just before you land and get done work?
No.
Just in case you're going to try it. So that's this Saturday. Claire, it's been a short show.
It has.
It's been an interesting show with some great conversation off air. Where can people find your blog?
Oh, good grief. On my website at www.clairewildmancoaching, that's Claire without an I, .co.uk.
I have this horrible feeling I keep spelling your name wrong.
Probably. Most people do.
Oops. Terry, MK Local? Well, while we just get the websites out there.
mklocal.co.uk. You don't need the www.
What good call.
It's
We're wishing we'd not gone there.
It's really hard to say.
It is. Even.
Well, it's worse if you start saying HTTPS.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, Terry showed me.
colons /
1.8.2.9. Yeah. Do you think walking on that plane, being on that plane on Saturday, looking out over the Essex countryside as it turns green and yellow and purple and all the flies and things land on you?
They go in my face.
Yeah. Do you think that's going to mess up the make? No, I mean, do you think that's...
It probably will.
I've
And
never
my
seen
hair,
her anything other than perfectly made up. Shoes? Have we got normal shoes on today or spiky, scary shoes?
No. I'm flip-flops today. I'm
there we
casual.
go then.
Yeah, so it's fine.
Big shoe collection.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to change you? Do you think you're going to take something away from you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Every time you do something that challenges you, makes you a stronger person. Puts you on a high for days afterwards. When I did my skydive, I was on a high for a whole week. It was amazing.
Yeah, agree.
I tend not to do them, very scary. I do baby steps. It suits me. Apart from coming on here with you.
And there's an event coming at the back end of the year which could be considered to be scary. No, really? I know somebody that wouldn't necessarily agree with you. But he's not here at the moment. He's at
As long
work.
as he turns up, it'll be fine.
He will be there. For those who can I? For those who don't know, Claire is getting married in September. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fun family that is transition is forever changing. She's not leaving there. She doesn't get to escape that easily, but she is getting married.
I know it'd work.
Yeah, no such luck.
Okay.
So yeah, again, that's that. But don't you think that's stepping outside your comfort zone? Maybe not yours, but definitely your other halves.
Well, I think he's pretty brave, yeah.
How long's it taken?
12 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There you go.
Quick,
Wow.
quick for me.
It is.
I'll tell you what, if you're listening, after making the poor lady wait for 12 years, you've really got to make sure it's a good day.
You're gonna get me
No
in trouble
pressure.
now.
Oh, come on, it's been a fun afternoon. I have to say, you picked a good weekend this weekend, because the weather last weekend was not...
It wasn't good.
Quite a bit of
Friday,
rough
Saturday
today.
was okay, but Friday was awful.
Friday was...
And Sunday.
It was like October out there.
I think that might put the fear of God into me. I don't think I could go up in the rain.
Well, that definitely messed up the makeup.
Yeah, I don't like getting
Wing
wet
walking,
hair.
not a problem, but I can't get my hair wet.
It's very true. That's why I don't go swimming.
You might come down with no hair.
Was that what happened to us?
Oh, I don't know.
Hang on, let's get the periscope going. Well, we got a chance.
Perhaps
Let's,
it's you.
we can get there's a
didn't know
before
I have hair.
and there's an after. There we go. That's what happens if a wing walk goes wrong.
Wear a
Before,
shower cap.
after.
Yeah, I could do, couldn't I?
It's a fun world, this is. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to drop that. So I'll put that down now. Anybody watching Periscope, I'm really sorry because you're now watching a desk, but I will pick it up again in a second. Any last comments as we're drawing to the end? Because I'm sure my Team Matters guys will be arriving shortly. Anything to say, Claire?
No, I think just bear in mind that if you stay in your comfort zone too long, your world's going to get a bit limited. And it's very easy to do that and not spot that it's happening. So it's easy to sort of suddenly make yourself too comfortable, and doing anything new suddenly becomes that much more of a challenge.
So the circles work both ways then?
They definitely work both ways, yeah.
Terry?
I think you just got to, like Claire says, not go too far. Do what you can, and then you won't. Otherwise, if you don't, you'll just recede backwards and backwards and backwards till you get nowhere.
She's nodding there, going, oh God, yeah.
No, I'm a great believer in challenging yourself. Otherwise, life's a bit boring.
It is. You're going to come back on afterwards?
Yeah, I will.
Tell us how good it was.
Yeah, I will.
Fantastic.
Or not, as the case may be.
She comes on with no hair and she's shaking still.
Yeah.
then we know things went
well.
slightly interesting.
We shouldn't joke about it. She's a very brave lady.
Oh, thank you.
You've got my complete admiration.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have to wait for 2 hours on the tarmac before they take off, like
I
you
don't
do on
think
another
so,
plane?
No, I think it's just a case of I'll be the only one doing it.
That's fair enough. That's the bit I don't like about flying. Yeah, I don't like the, you're here in the airport now, right now, we're going to take another 3 weeks before we actually take off. That's the bit that really drives me mad. I remember getting stuck on a runway in Spain for about 2 hours.
You were on the wings, were you?
No, but it was probably cooler on the wings because they turn the engines off. The aircon stops at that point. Oh, do you see the sympathy?
Claire's going to be up there with the wind in the willows, and you're worried about a little bit.
And he's sat in a seat in a plane. Where he's
Yeah. Look at you. I'll tell you what. If I'm sat in the plane, looking out the window to see you stood on the wing, I know we've got bigger problems.
Seen Superman, haven't you?
I might be there to balance it. You never know.
There is hope yet, Terry. Yeah, exactly. There is hope.
No, I had more fuel in one wing than I got in the other.
I don't think there's an answer to that, Terry.
Probably not.
Thankfully. Okay. I think we should leave it there before any of us get arrested. This was Transitions. I'm David Stimson. As always, this is So Close Sounds, community radio for Milton Keynes. As I say, due to some minor difficulties outside our control, we have had a short show today. But we will get Suzanne back on. I'm sure Terry and Claire will be back again at some point next week, same time, same time.
Maybe not next week, but
no.
Well after.
Okie dokie, Terry.
Yeah, I shall probably be next week. Yeah.
There we go. Fair play. Until now, take care. Look to the skies on Saturday, and if you hear a screaming, we know who it will be.
That's Essex.
Big county.
Yeah, I know. Don't ask. I don't know. I don't know these things. I just get in the car.
I think I know where it is. I think it's near Raynham.
Dammons Airfield. I'm sure it's Dammyns.
Yeah, that's near Raynham.
You sure?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely sure. You don't want to go in the wrong place now.
No, we shouldn't have to.
So I've got the address.
You sure?
I was just thinking of people who might go down, because a lot of people in Milton Keynes come from Essex.
They do.
That's true. They might pop in
go
and see.
down and have a good watch.
Yeah, anyone's welcome.
On that note, see you next week.
Blimey.
So it was a bit chaotic. It's normally chaotic. Yeah, I think.
Would you recommend her then? Yeah, I saw that.
I used to not be able to see a needle on telly, and